Well, first of all, it's good to see everybody, some familiar faces, some new faces, everybody from the future. I love that too. So what you're going to see is actually technically brand new. So nobody in the world has seen this yet. We just finished our first year, and we went through a massive tech overhaul a few months ago, which was almost 6 months in the making. And when we did, we merged two systems. And so before we could go through a little bit of a graphics overhaul and a branding overhaul, because we merged two completely different systems and platforms that we built. And this has been, in progress for almost 2 years now, as far as our technology goes. So we're really excited to share it with you. So you're getting a chance to see it before anybody else in the US. We're doing this tonight in the US, and so we're excited to share it with you. So you're going to see it before everybody else. But and I appreciate Carrie and Haley and everything that you guys have done to help us get things launched in Australia. Australia right now is officially the fastest growing market outside of the US. We are a brand new company, so it's an exciting time for us because we launched in May of 2024. And you really should thank whoever invited you here because this is something that is a private, invitation only community that once you become part of it, you're almost an insider. I tell people that it really gives you insider access. And I think above all my accolades and the things that I've done over the course of the last 30 years of my life, I really got good at helping people be insiders for events, experiences, travel. And I've helped a lot of people cross things off their bucket list. And I've been super blessed. I didn't grow up traveling, I didn't grow up with money. Australia was actually one of the places that helped me get the travel bug because I didn't even get on a plane until I was in college and university. I didn't even have my first passport until I was 23. I got my first passport, and then the second country that I went to with my passport was Australia. Because I worked with a direct sales company through college. And then when I left that company in 2003, one of the reasons I got my passport was because I got asked to go do consulting for a furniture importer in Australia and New Zealand. So I spent time in all the major cities, spent time in Auckland, and that was part of really what took me to the travel industry. I had started selling travel and promoting travel as a means to an end in college because they had programs where if I could get my friends to come with me on spring break, I could get a free spring break trip. And since I didn't come from money, I was paying for my college, and that was the only way I could afford to be able to do that. And so, I love Australia. I love the people in Australia. And so when I got introduced to Carrie and Haley through a friend of mine that I've known for a while, I feel like we've been friends forever. They've been amazing to work with. But the team that has allowed me to create what you're going to see tonight for you, it is incredible. Some of the best that I've worked with over my 30-year career. Our technology team has developed enterprise level software solutions and applications that last year alone did almost 10 billion in revenue on their platforms last year. That was before our billions. I mean, we're not there yet. My previous company, we did over $4 billion in revenue from scratch that I founded back in 2005. And then we have an incredible internal team. We've just added some people to the internal team, but combined, we were trying to add it up, and it's literally over 100 years experience, probably closer to 200 years experience in just our internal corporate team in all of the areas that make up our business model. And so, like I said, you really should be thankful that you're here. Australia is not normally first in this type of business. Most of these businesses are based in the US. There's a few in Europe, a few in Asia, but most of them are headquartered and based in the US. And so it usually takes a little while. We didn't get in my previous company, we didn't grow into Australia until about our 7th year in business. And so I was there we launched the company in 2005. And so it was 2012-ish before we ever made it to Australia. So 7 years, and we did it basically in our first year. And you're going to see that there are 5 different components to this technology that we've developed: travel, lifestyle, wellness, giving, and then also our incredible loyalty program. And so those are the 5 things that we're going to talk about today. And it starts with travel. And like I said, that's really where my background and experience comes from. We launched our travel booking technology. It's an app, and it's also based on the web a little over a year ago. And in over a year, we've done well over $1 million, closing in on $2 million in wholesale travel bookings for our members, at an average savings of 40 to 45% off. But on about 9 out of 10 of our bookings, you're going to see savings up to 65% off. And we now have over 3 million hotels and resorts worldwide, all over the world, of course, all over Australia and Asia and the neighboring parts of Australia as well. We just added 175,000 resort weeks. We have car rentals, cruises, jets, yachts, and a whole lot more all over the world. And our technology, we're proud of it. It is ours. We built it from scratch. It's proprietary. We've integrated AI. We've layered AI search into the booking app so that you can see what the savings are off of the best retail price at the time. So not only do we have the best in tech and the best in contracts in what we offer, but we've also layered it all together in a very unique platform. The people always ask, how are you able to get these great prices? And the answer is very simple. In the travel industry, there are what are called price parity agreements, meaning that the hotels got together when online travel started, and they restricted the online travel agencies on what they could discount and what they could charge. And that's why when you go search online and you look at Booking or you go to the hotel website, everybody's within a few dollars of each other, okay? And so that's because of these price parity agreements. Well, one of the things that basically allows us to avoid the price parity agreements is because this is a private, closed member environment. So it's a closed member environment. So when you see these prices, you will not see them anywhere else. So this isn't like one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, we have the best prices, but it's the best retail prices, and that may or may not be the case. And that's why you see a lot of companies offer like best price guarantees. They can do that on retail pricing, and whenever you see the fine print, that's what they're going to tell you. They exclude any kind of closed member environments or private member clubs or anything like that from those best price guarantees. And so we don't do that. But what we see is, because of our wholesale rates, because there's no markup, no margin, no fees, other than just the bare minimum taxes and fees that are associated with the booking, that's how we're able to offer these incredible rates. And we've been saving our members now for, over a year, almost a year and a half. And we recently added 175,000 resort weeks as well. Now, these resort weeks are all over the world. So once again, all throughout Asia, Europe, US. There's even some of these villas in Australia. It just depends on where you're looking, when you're looking. But up to 4 bedrooms, up to 12 people. And if you're flexible with your travel, you're getting them for $399 for the entire week. If you need a little bit more advance, it's slightly more expensive. But these are unused timeshare weeks that people have bought and paid for in villas that are in 7-night increments. And so you're going to be able to see the savings. And there's a lot of them Orlando, Mexico, the Caribbean. And then we also do our own trips. So we put together our own retreats, our own wellness retreats, our own conferences and events that are more about experience than anything else. And so we've done several of these. We've got another one coming up to the Bahamas. This is our second time going to the Bahamas. And Haley and Carrie are coming to the Bahamas. They actually both won part of their trip, and Haley won her entire trip. So we're putting her up, flying her over, and so that trip is coming up in literally just a couple of months. So we're going to be seeing hopefully several of you. But this little video will give you just kind of a sneak peek at what you have to look forward to at our Bryte Lyfe Breakthrough events for this one coming up at the Atlantis, which is one of my favorite resorts in the world in the Bahamas. And so that just kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. This price that we have is incredible. $499 a person based on double occupancy. So that's assuming 2 people in the room. So for $998, you're getting your 3 nights in Atlantis. It covers all of the taxes. It covers all of the resort fees, which are almost $100 a day. It also covers all of your mandatory gratuities. And so when I searched a few weeks ago when we announced this, the rate at the time, the best rate on booking.com was $1,983 for the exact same 3 nights. But remember, that doesn't include a lot of those extra things. It also includes a Halloween party that we're doing for our members. So that party would normally be something you would have to pay extra for, and that's included. And then we have tickets available for our conference that's being held at the Atlantis. And we made those tickets available so that even if you wanted to stay off property and stay at one of the less expensive resorts, which there's not many places where you can even stay for $499 for 4 days and 3 nights in the Bahamas, but we made that available as well. And then the second component of our membership program is what we call Live Life. And Live Life really is one of the things that sets us apart from all of our competitors. It sets us apart from my previous company because as I was traveling, there were things that were on my bucket list that had nothing to do with the actual travel component, right? So I'm a sports guy, so I like UFC, I like MMA, I like boxing. I've been to almost every Conor McGregor fight live. I was there when he fought Floyd Mayweather. I go to the Kentucky Derby every year. I've been 14 of the last 15 years to the Kentucky Derby. I think it's the greatest sporting event on earth. I know that you all love horse racing in Australia. In fact, here's the fun fact. The fastest horse in the world, fastest female horse in the world, I actually bred, and she's been beating everybody in Australia. She won the Cox Plate last year. Her name is Via Sistina. I owned her mother. And so I'm very into sports and horse racing. And so I'm hoping that she's going to race this year. They bought her from the people that bought her from me. And they paid over £5 million for her, which I think it was like 8 million Australian or something like that. And they brought her to Australia, and I think she has lost 1 race in Australia since she's been there. But I want to go to the Melbourne Cup. Like, the Melbourne Cup is a bucket list thing for me. I want to go. It's an event. I know that in Australia, horse racing is celebrated. It's one of the most popular sports in the entire country. And so my previous company, we didn't do any of that. We didn't give people access to any of those types of things. I love music. I've been to most of the major music festivals. I've been to Tomorrowland in Belgium. I've been to Coachella. I've been to, Ultra in Miami and in Europe. And so I like experiences. But my favorite part of all of that is whenever I get to take somebody to one of those events that's never been, because there are, I mean, hundreds now, if not thousands of people that I've helped experience these events for the first time. And so Live Life is about access. It's not just about discounts, because of course, if you've been to the Melbourne Cup, I haven't been, but I'm assuming it's like the Kentucky Derby. It's not a cheap weekend, right? Most people, you go, the tickets are expensive. It's probably impossible to find a hotel because everybody's there for the cup. And so most events are like that. I took my daughter to Taylor Swift. We went twice on her last tour. And so, this is about experience. And so if you're into sports, we've got golf, we've got access to 750 private and semi-private golf courses around the world. We can get tickets to pretty much any major professional sporting event with reduced fee tickets, pre-sale access. We've organized groups to some of these events. We also have done concerts, music festivals. I just took my daughter and her best friend for their birthday last weekend. We got ultra VIP because of Bryte Lyfe. They walked us past the line. We had the best table in the house next to the sound booth, center stage. And my daughter just turned 15. Her birthday was 2 weeks ago. Her best friend's birthday was last week. So they both just turned 15. So I'm a single dad. But Bryte Lyfe took them to this concert, and I was like dad of the year. They couldn't believe it because they literally escorted us past everybody that had been in line for the general admission because we had a reserved table through Bryte Lyfe that was the best table in the place. And these are the types of things that, to me, you can't even put a price tag on. Yes, we had to pay for the tickets, but the tickets were held back because of our partnership with Live Nation. Those tickets were held back for Bryte Lyfe members, and so the general public couldn't even get them. And so, seeing their faces, seeing those photos, of them that they just had such an incredible time. To me, this is what Bryte Lyfe is about. And here's what you need to know. None of our competitors in our space, they don't offer any of this. None of it. Not a bit. Not a single thing. Any of those lifestyle experiences, including discounts to amusement parks and theme parks. And this is all the major theme parks. So Disney Paris, Disney Asia, all of the major theme parks, amusement parks. We've got discounts even in Australia for different types of activities and sightseeing and attractions. And so we've got something for everybody. And then the third component of our membership is what we call Well Life. And we really wanted people to have total life balance. That's the reason why we chose the name Bryte Lyfe, because we knew that in order to be able to cross these things off your bucket list, to travel around the world, to see these things, you needed to have balance. And so it's not about, winning a physical fitness competition, but we've got incredible physical fitness content. We've got mental wellness, financial wellness, relationship wellness. We've got live coaching. We've got videos. We've got training. We do events around these things. We just had world-renowned speakers fly in from all over the world to speak to our members in Orlando. And so if you want life balance, if you want a better lifestyle, this is one of our most important components, is providing this type of content for our members. And we're already doing it. I mean, we've got it. I mean, we've had hundreds and hundreds of testimonials on our platform, on our social media pages, from not only travel savings, but creating experiences and memories for families like what I just mentioned with my daughter, and also our members with our wellness program. We've had people make lifestyle changes, incredible transformations in their life. Our director of physical wellness has been on the cover of multiple sports magazines and health magazines, and also helped our members and consulted them with their nutrition plans. And so we've got a lot of stories and facts and proof of what we've already been doing. So you've got the ability to come into a platform that is, yes, we're a startup, but we don't feel like a startup because we've already done these things. We've already been there. And like, Haley mentioned, hindsight is everything. And then something else that's very important to us is our Give Life initiative. So in all of our Bryte Lyfe breakthrough events and trips, we always do service projects. We were the largest volunteer group to ever volunteer at the largest women's shelter in the U.S. They can house over 1,000 women and children at this facility. We volunteered there. We organized their pantry. We organized donations there. We also remodeled an entire after-school learning center in Nassau, Bahamas, for a program that allows kids that are at-risk youth that don't have anywhere to go after school to go and have a safe place to do homework and study. There are some areas, obviously, in the Bahamas, and in Nassau is one of them, where it's very low income, not a lot of opportunity. And so we're going back there. The kids have enjoyed we rebuilt this entire learning center. We brought in bean bags. We brought in computers. Our members donated everything. And we painted the room. We did murals on the wall. We put an entire globe on the wall and just really made a special, safe place for them. And they told us this. It's just a little sad, but also makes me feel really good. We just talked to them last week. They've had some kids that have had to sleep in this room because they didn't have a place to stay. And they slept on the bean bags that we brought and made for this room. And so we're trying to give back and do things when we go places to leave where we go a better place than where we found it. And this really matters to us. And so then the last part of our membership is something that's also very proprietary and very unique to our company. And it's called our Bucket List Loyalty Program. To our knowledge, we're the first company to ever even ask its customers, what's on your bucket list? So when you download our app, the first thing you do when you download it is you tell us what the top 10 places are on your bucket list. So you give us your top 10 list, and literally from that moment, we have weekly meetings internally where we're looking at where our members want to go, what's on your bucket list. And so we're contracting, negotiating with properties that are in these destinations to be able to have the ability for you to go anytime. So it's tied into our app. You can search anytime in your bucket list destinations. But then as a thank you, we've created the best loyalty program that's ever existed in the travel industry. A lot of people do miles or points, but we do something better than that. We make your dreams come true, because every year on the anniversary date of the date you join, that countdown clock will go off every year. And we award you a guaranteed 5-star hotel stay for 4 days and 3 nights for yourself and a guest. And that's an incredible experience for people, because we're literally sending them, almost every person that's done this already, because we've already been in business a year. So we've already awarded over 200 of these trips. This has been the best hotel they've ever stayed in. That's the type of hotels that we're negotiating with, that we're sending people to. The Palazzo Versace Hotel in Dubai, which is one of only 2 Versace hotels in the world. The other one's in Australia. I've stayed at both of them, by the way. Incredible properties. Everything in them is designed by Versace, from the bed linens to the robes to the tableware to the furniture. And so that's an incredible property that we've already sent over 100 people their notifications for. We're also putting people up in the Le Méridien, Maldives. We have a partnership with the best hotel in Costa Rica, in my opinion, the JW Marriott. We've got multiple contracts throughout the world that are fulfilling these trips for our members. And we've had members now, because we've been in business for a year, that have already taken them. And so this trip is a little highlight reel from one of our members who joined when we first started, one of the very first members to join. The Maldives was the #1 thing on her bucket list. And so we put her up at the Le Meridian Maldives in an overwater bungalow. And this is direct footage from her on that trip. And I think this is the power of what we're doing. And no one has ever done this before.
Stop it. Stop. This is where we're sleeping? Oh my God.
Perfect bodies in the shallow blue, drifting faster than we should. Golden hour paints a dreamlike view. Even dreams start fading too. I am leaving, tell me what to do. I can feel us slipping away. Treading water, yeah, what's the use?
Now, if you would have paid for that 3-night stay, it would have cost you over $5,000 US. Okay, so over $5,000 US. That's Australian. That's like, what is that, Haley? Like 8,000, 8,500,
About 7,500.
7,500. So 7,500 Australian for just the 3 nights, and this trip was gifted to them. So when they checked in, all they had to do was get there. So they literally checked in and it said 0.00. And this particular contract, this hotel, also included that breakfast. So they gave them that breakfast every day. That was an extra $100 per person per night because it's a buffet breakfast. They told me that like one of the days, the breakfast was so big and so massive that they barely ate the rest of the day. And so this is just an example of the lives that we're changing. This is not just some hotel. This is a dream for a lot of people, and nobody has ever done anything like this before in the travel industry. And so when you look at the savings, just that bucket list trip alone, an average retail value of over 3,000 US, okay, on average. There's probably a few that are a little bit less, depending on what country or destination you're going to, but the majority of them are well over 3,000. And when you use the app, our members are saving, on average, document $100 to $150 a night, no matter where you're going. And Haley and Carrie can wrap up in a minute and share their savings and their stories from using the app. But anytime you use the app, you're putting an average of about $600 documented that's back in your pocket, staying in your bank account, and not going to booking.com or Expedia or the hotel website every time you use it. So you take 600 and you multiply it times 2 or 3 or 4 or however many times you use it. Then you look at the Bryte Lyfe trips like the Bahamas, over $1,000 in savings there. The golf benefit, you can't even put a price tag on, because if you were going to join all of the private clubs that we give you access to, it would cost you over $1 million. And then if you look at the entertainment value, over $1,000 on just tickets, concerts, events, sightseeing, city tours. So a household can easily save $5,000 to $10,000 using the membership over the course of the year. And so it's not pocket change. This is not 5% off or save $10 or save $20. It's massive savings. And so when people see the price tags, I think that the first question and only question that they normally get asked when they see that it's only $199 the first month, and then it's only $179 each month thereafter, they're like, wait a second, that doesn't add up, because you just showed me you put up Danielle and her friend in the Maldives for, that's over $5,000. I can do the math on that. That's not 5,000, and it's not. But of course, we're not paying 5,000 because we have the benefit of scale, meaning the more of those trips we're buying from the Le Meridian, the better the price we're getting. You would never be able to get the price that I'm getting, because I've been doing this for 30 years and we have exclusive contracts and we're doing volume. And then the other thing is technology, because see, the thing is it costs us the same amount of money for our platform to host 10,000 people on the app as it will when we have 10 million people on the app. So the way you should look at this is as the best piggy bank you've ever seen. Because I personally have never seen a piggy bank where when you put one in, you're getting 2, 3, or 4 out every single time. Because I'm not a math genius, but 5 to 10,000 in savings is much higher than 179 US a month. Because that's about 2 or 3, or in some cases, probably 4 times what you're putting in. So it becomes the ultimate no-brainer. And you don't have to take our word for it. We give every single one of our members a risk-free trial. So you can join today. You have a week to try it out, book it, use it, search, sift, because, and remember, it's a closed member environment. So you will not see the prices. You can't book anything. You can't kick the tires unless you're a member in the environment because of our contractual obligations. We would lose our contracts. We would violate our contracts if we allowed non-members to go on the site and book things and use things, because that's how we have built our system and our network. It's a closed member environment. So you can cancel within 7 days, no questions asked. We'll give you your $199 back, and you can keep anything that you bought or booked. So you could literally save thousands of dollars risk-free. And then after that point, there's no fee to cancel. There's no penalty to cancel. You can cancel anytime. If you don't want to be a member, we don't want you to be a member. We made it easy. It's right on the front of the screen. It's cancel and you're done. And you know, I know a lot of membership things out there. They make it hard to cancel. They make it complicated. They make it hard to find so that you forget about it. If you're not using it, we don't want you to be a member. But the thing is you could leave the app turned off the entire year and just go on the bucket list trip, and it's still a no-brainer. So you don't even have to use the app, and it still makes sense. And then this last part is optional. So you don't have to participate with this last part, but we created not only the best customer loyalty program, but also the best customer appreciation program. And so it's centered around customer behavior, and customers behave the same way regardless of whether we tell them to or not. When you find something that you like, you naturally tell your friends about it because you care about them. So, you know, if we're friends and you found a way where I could literally make my dreams come true, go all over the world, see the world, and you knew me, you knew that would be something that I want to do because I talk about those things with everybody. So people know that I love to travel. If you go look at my page, if you look at my Instagram, you'll see a lot of the places I've been. I've been to almost 80 countries. So if you found out about this, you would tell me, even if you weren't incentivized, if we were friends. I mean, to me, that's the only person that wouldn't tell somebody is if they weren't friends with someone, because if you're friends with someone, you want to help them. So what we did is we created this system that allows you to share this with people you care about and earn free travel for life. How does it work? Well, we made it simple. You don't have to do any selling. You can just take one of our signs and use the membership. And then when you go on your trips or you go to concerts or you go to shows, like we put, I need to put a picture of me and my daughter from last weekend at the concert, because we took a picture with the sign. They're like, we got to take a picture with the sign because this is such a cool Bryte Lyfe experience. And so then the sign does the work. Then people are like, how did you get in? In fact, we had people at the concert last weekend. They were like, how did y'all? There were people that were pissed. Obviously, we walked past them and cut the whole line. You know how that is if you've ever had that experience. You know, so they were asking there, what's the sign? How did y'all get this table? Because the tables were all reserved. You couldn't get the tables at the concert. Everybody else was standing the entire time. We had our own private waitress. So you can just share and use the app. You can see the center screen there. It says share sign up. It's right inside of the app. So you don't have to do any selling. You don't have to do any explaining. This video is being recorded. And so this exact video will play for them whenever they click on that button. And you'll know, you'll get notified when they join, and then they pop up right on your app, and you'll see anyone that you've referred to Bryte Lyfe. And here's what's crazy. When you refer just 2 people, okay, you now are what we call free life qualified. That means that you no longer pay for your membership. So you get that free membership every single month, and all you did was refer 2 people. So you helped 2 people create more life in their life, And now you no longer pay for the membership. And then on top of that, beyond those two, you can also earn in our revenue sharing model with just an extra $20 a month. We'll give you our entire CRM system. It's got branding, it's got presentations, it's got training, it's got all of our content. And if you're part of this program, every time somebody joins through your app or through your invite, you're going to get $100 in free travel in addition to the free life membership deposited into your app. And you're also going to get a percentage of all of the members' monthly fees that are part of your network every single month. And it's not just who you refer, it's anyone they refer, it's anybody that's referred after you that's part of the same network. And so the app does the work for you so that you don't have to. And then we also have a corporate benefits program that will allow you to share Bryte Lyfe with companies that are doing incentives or want to retain their employees. And then you can earn a percentage of what they spend as well. And so I'm not going to get into all the details of the compensation today, but I do want to highlight a couple of very important things. And that is that there are two very important parts of this. Number one, we have the easiest qualifier for residual income in the history of this industry, okay? And all it is two referrals. So with literally 2 referrals, you are fully qualified for all of those numbers that you see on the screen that are monthly residual. And so with that, when you look at these numbers, it goes from $300 a month all the way up to $500,000 a month. Now, we've only been in business a year, so we don't have anybody at $500,000 a month yet. But at World Ventures, my previous company, we had people at that top level within the first couple of years. And so the difference is that we're paying out 10 times more. So that's the second thing. Not only is it the easiest qualifier, it's the most lucrative we've ever seen of a legitimate business model with a referral compensation plan. And so we will have members. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when and how many that are earning $500,000 a month in residual income. And the power of this is because it just takes 2. Because everybody's focused on free life. So if you get free life, then of course the people that you refer are going to want to get their free membership too. And once this happens 15 times, you would be making $500,000 a month. 2 who tell 2 who tell 2, 15 times puts you at $500,000 a month. Now, not everybody's going to tell 2. Some are going to do more, like Haley and Carrie and Georgette. Some are going to do less, okay? But because of our growth and because of our retention, we have the best retention I've ever seen in my history of this industry. All of our competitors that are just pure travel companies, none of them can touch our retention. I'll put us up against anybody, anytime, anywhere, bare, raw numbers, because we've already done it. We've proven our model has the best retention. And so it's just a matter of when we're going to have members. We've already got members making $300, $800, $1,600, $3,000. In fact, Haley's very close to $1,600 in basically a month. And then $3,000, we have a new level of $5,000. There's some other levels that are in between these numbers that you see here on the screen that people are already making right now. And we're a little over a year old. And so you have a very important decision to make today. Because obviously everybody sees the value. You want to become a member. That's the $179. But in order to participate and partner with us in our revenue sharing plan, it's only an extra $20 a month. So don't miss out or skip the extra $20 a month. You want to become a member. You want to lead by example. You want to post your photos and your videos and share with your friends and family and have them see what you found so that they know that it's real. So becoming a member and an influencer, in my opinion, is the ultimate no-brainer. I think it'll be the best $199 you've ever spent in your entire life. And so at this point, the most important thing you can do is to get back to the person who shared this with you. Whoever invited and told you about Bryte Lyfe, you should thank them because it just meant that they wanted to help you get more life out of life. And literally from the moment that you join, the countdown begins. And that's why we put the countdown in this design on the phone. Because from the moment that you join, it's literally counting down by the second to when you're going to get your first bucket list trip.